What's up guys, this is Chris from Honest Outlaw here, and today we are going to do a 1,000 round review on one of the coolest little pistols I have had in a while. That being said, every once in a while we have a couple of gusts of wind here and there. We're taking every precaution we can, but we're going to push right on through. This is the P365 Spectre Comp Gold. This is what I would consider probably the premium offering from Sig as far as the P365 goes. It is from their custom shop, and also what I would consider the best iteration of the 365 that we have had. I've had experience with the SAS, the Standard, the XL, and then this, and I gotta say, as far as performance goes, rounds on target quickly, this certainly is quite the thing. If you're unfamiliar with the Spectre Comp, the Spectre Comp is a series that Sig puts out. I actually have their 320 as well. Basically their comped version with their performance trigger in it. This is a 3.1 inch pistol here with a muzzle brake milled into the slide, not the actual barrel itself. That negates a lot of the timing issues and user issues of standard comps, with a little bit of the pros and cons of having it in the slide. Now, having it in the slide, you're gonna get a little bit less recoil control, but you aren't going to have any reliability issues either, or at least I didn't with this gun, which we'll be getting into later. Not only do you get the muzzle brake, you get the HD sights, you get the ability to mount an optic if you so choose, the shield pattern. I have the 507K X2 mounted on there, just simply because that's my personal favorite little mini optic. We get a titanium nitrided barrel and trigger components, which is nice because it makes the gun very slick, very easy to use. It stays reliable and clean longer, and it's easier to clean. On top of that, the trigger components are very, very smooth, so you don't get a gritty, nasty trigger right from the factory. You get a really good, clean Sig custom trigger right out of the box. You know, total comp. She's warm. Yeah. Actually like that trigger a lot too. We have a mounting rail here for a light, which we have a TLR sub on. Big fan of that. The only problem I have is it does get loose pretty frequently, which does kind of suck. We have the cool ass Sig Custom Works slide milling there that looks much different from the Standard. It's about the same grip in my personal opinion, but both of them work really well. Again, Sig tritium night sights, and we have the Sig Custom Works grip pattern there, the laser stippling that they put on it, and that works really well as well. Now, the thing I'm so interested about this is it has all the pros of the standard P365, and it takes a lot of steps to eliminate some of the cons. If you're not familiar with the 365, it is a polymer frame striker fired pistol, this one is, with a 3.1 inch barrel and a 12 round magazine capacity using the standard staggered magazine capacity that the P365 made very famous, allowing you to get a lot of capacity in a very small gun. If you consider that you would need a compact Glock 19 size pistol to get the same capacity that you get with this 5 years ago, the evolution in the carry market is actually really impressive. Now, this isn't the only gun that does that. It was the first, but there are many others as well. The Taurus GX4, the Shield Plus, the Hellcat, and on it goes. Ruger has one as well. But I think the P365 is the most popular because it is the first, it is the standard, and Sig is kind of the biggest game in town so far, at least until Glock makes one of these in about 7.5 years. Now, the P365 Spectre Comp really fixes the recoil issue with the P365. You get a lot of capacity with the 365, you get good accuracy with the good trigger. Putting a dot on a small gun negates the sight radius, so you get a pretty good degree of user accuracy as well. But what you're always going to get with small guns is you're going to get a lot of recoil impulse because of the lightweight, the physics of the round going off, and the less surface area you have to grip the gun. Adding the muzzle brake and adding the stippling really negate a lot of that, and it allows you to shoot this gun like a full-size gun. So you get the capacity of a full-size gun, you get the caliber of a full-size gun, and you get the shootability of a full-size gun in an extremely small package, making this one of the coolest things that I've ever had the opportunity to review. I've been waiting for something like this to take place, and now it's here. There are some cons to it, obviously. The smaller grip is still a little bit more difficult to control than a full-size gun. It's gonna be a little bit more difficult to get out of the holster, but in my personal experience, this XL grip is the right way to go. The standard 365 just a little bit small, whereas this is really easy to grab. This also comes with a beveled mag well as well, so when you run out of that 12 rounds, it's actually pretty easy to pop a magazine in there, even though it's a very small grip. The controls on the Spectre comp are very smooth and intuitive, and they're very easy to reach for all hand sizes. Very impressive there, a lot of research. The Beaver tail is very high, allowing you to get a really high end, or a really high grip on the gun, allowing you to control that recoil even more. And as you can see, even though it's such a small gun, I get just enough of my pinky on there to use that leverage and lock that wrist and really get a good amount of recoil control. We did 1,000 rounds through this gun, and we had 0 malfunctions, which was really impressive, especially considering it's a Sig from their custom shop, and it has a muzzle brake. No break-in period necessary. We shot remanufactured ammunition through this. We shot Fiocchi through this. We shot the standard, which we normally use now from Manning & Sons. We get Blazer Brass, and we get Fiocchi. We tried 115 grain, 147 grain, and 124 grain. And I'll tell you why here in a minute, why this test was much more extensive than our usual 1,000 round reviews. And that is because this is in contention to be my carry gun. And that is kind of how highly I actually consider this gun, because that's kind of the highest praise I can give, that this really is on par with the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, which is my current Micro 9 carry gun, the Glock 43, and the Staccato C2 and CZ-P07. So it's kind of in the category of the guns that I carry all the time, which is kind of the highest praise I can give it. Reliability on point, recoil control on point, and when we get to that accuracy, is it as accurate as something like a Glock 34? No, but put this in comparison to a Hellcat or a GX4 or a Ruger Max or any of the normal Micro 9mm, even a Glock 26 is going to be on par with the ability to shoot this. So it's really, really nice. Having that dot there, that single point of aim, and having that really nice coated trigger really benefits from accuracy. I was able to hit a 6-inch plate with one hand with this gun during the trick shot challenge under pressure with a whole bunch of people watching me. I'm going to do the old French dueling stance.
I mean, I might as well try it.
On top of that, I was also able to hit very consistently at 100 yards with this gun and 50 yards. I was even able to get consistent hits with this gun at night with this light setup. No, I didn't perceive any issues. No issues yet. I don't know, it looks pretty good to me. Which obviously that's a white target at night. You already know it's there. No target identification necessary. It's just to show off the marksmanship you can achieve with this gun if you want to. And I don't know if I've ever reviewed a gun that is really the total package like this. I've reviewed competition guns, which I would consider to be the epitome or the apex. I've reviewed combat style duty guns, the Glock 19, Glock 17, Glock 34, things like that type of size. And I've been very happy with those, but this and the Shield Plus are really the first two Micro 9mm that I would consider a gun I would have no problem with being the only gun that you own. Like, you could own this gun and you could use this very, very effectively for concealed carry. You could also shoot it on the range and have some fun with it, which is really important. Most people buy these Micro 9mm and they don't train with them at all because they're miserable to shoot. You shoot the GX4, you put 300 rounds through that at a range strip and let me know how that goes. You just, by the time you're done with it, you're just gonna be pissed off because it just has so much recoil. It's a little hard to shoot. It's way harder to shoot than your standard full-size duty guns. You won't get any of those problems with this, in my personal opinion. You're gonna have the recoil, you're gonna have the accuracy, you're gonna have the fun, and the more you train with it, the better you're gonna get with it, on top of how much performance you're gonna get from buying the gun in the first place, because you're the weapon again, and training with it's the most important thing you can do. Caliber doesn't matter, recoil impulse doesn't matter, all that stuff pales in comparison to hitting your target when the moment arises. And your ability to do that a little bit better with the trigger and the optic and the brake is a really good feature to me. So you could take this out right out of the concealed carry holster, put it on the nightstand, and use it for a very effective home defense gun as well. I gotta say, man, color me impressed. Sig, I would argue that this is the best thing that you've ever produced. Besides the 226, of course, because you're never gonna beat that. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later. Get a 226.